Hey mamas, welcome back. We're on day 9 of 12 days to All I Want for Christmas is Biblical Birth. If you're here for it, today we're going to talk about Jochebed. Stick around, okay? That's Moses' mom. All right. Okay, everyone, my name is Leslie. I'm a disciple, wife, mom, and childbirth doula, and this is where I share about all things birth, faith, and family. I'm so excited. I'm loving this series. I hope you're loving it too. I hope that this is a blessing to you. I am going to dive right in. We're going to start with Exodus 2 today. I'm going to read verses 1 through 10, and then we will dive right in, okay? I'm reading out of the NKJV, but you read whatever works for you, okay? And a man of the house of Levi went and took as wife a daughter of Levi. So the woman conceived and bore a son. And when she saw that he was a beautiful child, she hid him 3 months. But when she could no longer hide him, she took an ark of bulrushes for him, daubed it with asphalt and pitch, put the child in it, and laid it in the reeds by the river bank. And his sister stood afar off to know what would be done to him. Then the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river, and her maidens walked along the riverside, and when she saw the ark among the reeds, she sent her maid to get it. And when she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the baby wept. So she had compassion on him and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children." Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call a nurse for you from the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for you?" Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go." So the maiden went and called the child's mother. Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child away and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages." So the woman took the child and nursed him. And the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. So she called his name Moses, saying, "Because I drew him out of the water." Yo, Jochebed here, Moses' mom. This woman, she's pretty awesome. She's a pretty awesome mom, okay? Now, when she saw her child, like any mother, like any mother, you see your child for the first time. There's no way. There's no way you're just going to willingly allow someone to just go and kill them. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's not. Even these other children I think of that maybe, I don't know that any were killed according to what it says in the Bible, because the midwives didn't allow it. But if there were any that were killed or were thrown in the river, I am like, I can't imagine a mother having just delivered being able to do that. I just can't. So, Jochebed, she can't do it. She hides him for 3 months. So as long as she can hide him, and then she says, "Okay, I gotta figure something else out." So what does she do? This woman is smart. She says, I'm gonna see how I can save him. And so she lines this basket, and let me just tell you, the tar and the stuff, the asphalt that she put in it, was so no water would get in it, so it wouldn't sink. Okay, that's why she made a special basket for him. Why she put it in the reeds? So the water wouldn't take it away. You think this woman put her baby in a random spot over by where she lived, all the way over there with the slaves? No, she didn't send that. She didn't put Moses in the water next to where she lived. She put him in the water as close as she could get to the Pharaoh's palace. Why? Because where do people bathe? People bathe in the river. So she knows somebody from out there is going to come. Where did she put it? She put him in Egyptian territory, in Egyptian land, in hopes that someone would show mercy to her child. It just happened to be that mercy was shown by the very princess. Isn't it so crazy? Pharaoh intended to kill all these children, and now he's actually paying for one of them to be raised. He's paying for one of them to be raised, to be breastfed, to be nursed by his own mother. By his own mother, just to then raise him up, educate him, teach him everything, and pay for all of that too. God is so awesome. God is so awesome. But why? Jochebed was smart. She also just didn't let the basket stay there. She told the sister to watch what would happen to it. Obviously. Like, this woman is so smart. She knew exactly what she was doing. And for her diligence in protecting her child, God did the rest. God made sure the princess is the one who came out. God made sure that she found compassion with the child, that she kept the child, that now, and God even double blessed her. She was getting now paid to take care of her child. Not only did she not have to hide him anymore, but now she was getting paid to do it. Paid to take care of him. That's Moses was raised up, was nursed with his own people. He knew he was an Israelite. His mother used that time that she had to care for him well. She preserved his life, even if it meant that she couldn't raise him for forever, even if it meant that she had to turn him over. She preserved his life. In our society today, I mean, we could just go on. We could just go on about, we live in a culture where you're told to preserve your own life. If that's not a child you want, or if that child's showing that they're defective through, blood work that, again, is not, let me just tell you, blood work that is not always correct, and blood work that even when people are born with things have been learned to survive, have been known to survive them, all of that still. I even saw once someone was expecting twins, and she was told by her provider that one of the children had already passed and that she needed to terminate the pregnancy, or that was what their recommendation. Do you know what they did? They went and they got another recommendation. And you know what they did as well? They told the church to pray. And these children just turned 4. So don't tell me God can't do it. Don't tell me God can't do it. And even if he doesn't, don't bow down. Don't bow down to the false gods of today. Don't bow down to Molech. And I say that because, I mean, during this time together, we've been covering a lot of topics. It's not just birth. But I want to show you guys that this word, it is packed with wisdom, with God's thoughts on a lot of topics, a lot of things. And also wisdom about how we're to rear our children, how we are to protect them. A mother's job is to protect her child, not kill him. And I just want to say real quick, if you have ever gone through with an abortion, I encourage you that there is healing in Jesus. There is forgiveness. There is complete and total, there is restoration and healing in Jesus. So that's available. That's available to you. I don't want to, and I have a whole bunch of videos on resources for that as well, which I can link down below. But also I want to talk to the people who are maybe facing a situation where they're being told, this is really what you have to do. This is your option. I encourage you to seek the face of God for what he specifically has for you in this pregnancy. And I pray that his will is done. Always. Always, always, always. That's my desire. That's my prayer. That his will be done. And remember, his ways are higher than our ways. But listen, these are tough situations. These are really, really tough situations. It's also been other situations of people I've counseled and stuff who have made the other decision. And that's all. Sorry, I just have some notes here on things, and now I'm going a little bit off of what I even had planned. You know what? That's probably a conversation for another day. So I'm not going to bring that into this. If you're interested in us going a little bit deeper into this, let me know in the comments down below, and I'm happy to maybe have us do a study on that. But I share all of this to say that, mama, you are to help preserve the life of your child, and that means you need to start doing the research necessary to make the decisions, make the best decisions for you and your family, and feel confident that you're making them because of you and not because somebody told you. Not because a provider told you, not because a doula told you, not because nobody else told you what you should or should not do with your child. You need to do this research on your own. You need to be beyond, you need to be doing research on what are your decisions regarding newborn care. You've got the vitamin K shot, the erythromycin eye ointment, you've got hepatitis B, you've got a laundry list of you've got the CDC vaccine schedule. You have got things you need to make decisions on. You've also got decisions even around birth, even before that, are you going to allow cervical checks? Are you going to be okay? Are you doing this naturally, or are you going to sign up for an induction based on what the provider says? Are you what are the things that you're going to do to protect your baby throughout your pregnancy, throughout your birth, and throughout your postpartum period, your parenting journey? Start doing the research now that you need to be doing so that you feel equipped to make those decisions. Because nobody, absolutely nobody else has to make them. Except for nobody else. I mean, other people could make them for you. You could just go with what other people say, but I don't think that's right, because you are the only one that has to live with the consequences of your decision. And so even when I talk about this topic of when you have this information given to you and you have to make this decision, that's why I say seek God. Seek God. Because he knows what's best for you. Always. With that, I leave you. I hope I've given you a lot of stuff to think about now after this video. I mean, you could probably just go, my recommendation is go ask God, hey, Lord, what decisions do you want me to be making in my pregnancy, birth, and postpartum to help protect my child in this process as they enter the world and all of this? Start learning about the things that can potentially harm them. Yeah, do that work. It's important because it could preserve the life of your child or change the quality thereof. And trust that the same way that God, for Jochebed, answered her where she was at, and she did her part of doing everything she could, and then trusted God for the rest, and God did do the rest. Moses lived a long life. All of that because one mother stood up to what the government was telling her to do and did what she knew was best for her child, which was that he should live. And so whether what you're doing today is choosing life for the child in your womb, or making some decisions about newborn care, or making some decisions about who your provider is right now, whatever it is, or making some decisions about school, whatever season you're in, mama, just know, if you're faithful to do what God says is your part, he will always, regardless, he's always going to be faithful to do his. All right. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next one. Do all the things down below. See you tomorrow.